Now, what was I talking about? I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
What do you mean by generations of careful breeding?
The great families of Tevinter don't have children. They refine traits. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of... They got me. A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
I'm getting the impression that you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because we pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
It just seems... so much of what you say about the Imperium...
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people, we are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where we treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built, and despite appearances, we care deeply about everything. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see? I'm not exactly... Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland... I'm sure some Magisters would disagree. But that's why we kill them.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Ah, yes. Everyone outside the Imperium always sees... Probably why they come up with so many ridiculous tales. Flying cows over Minrathous. That's madness. All right, that one's actually true, but the cows didn't have wings. I digress. Anything in particular you wanted to know?
It seems strange that an entire empire...
I find it strange that your mages don't rule anything at all. Actually, the fiction in the Imperium is that the Magisterium rules. That Magisters are all mages is considered a convenient technicality.
What is the Magisterium?
The upper house of the Imperial Senate, and the only part... Those seats are split among the circles of Magi that... It's odd that outside the Imperium, you use Magister like it applies to every Tevinter mage.
If you're not a Magister, then what are you called?
I'm an Altus, which is almost as good as a Magister, depending on who you ask.
I've never heard of an...
Upper class. Those families who trace descent from the Dreamers, the first prophet. If you're a mage and you're not Altus, then you're later. Look, if you're not a mage at all, you're Soferati. That's everyone else. We do love our fancy words.
I thought the Archon ruled it.
Well, yes. Technically, he can overrule laws passed by the Magisterium. Even so, he gets to appoint new Magisters, which means all the families vie. Thus, the Archon gets invited to all the parties. The truest path to Tevinter influence, let me tell you.
If it's a fiction, that means mages do.
Yes. Let me put it this way. Mages do rule, but not all mages. If you're not from the right family, chances are you don't rule anything. The idea that anyone could be a mage, however, keeps the masses placated.
Can anyone be a mage?
Technically, the potential runs mostly in bloodlines, but it's been... More importantly, commoners believe it can. Tevinter legend is chock full of mage heroes from Hump, so they hold out hope. Someday my son or my son poor sods don't realize that means he'll be a quaestor at the arse end of the 100 Pillars, at best.
Being a quaestor isn't a...
I imagine the average non-mage likes to think so. Counting numbers and shuffling papers all day is better than many occupations. If you're a second-class citizen among a pack of piranha, however, your outlook changes.
Let me ask you something.
Of course.
There's an Imperial Chantry, isn't there? With its...
You people aren't supposed to talk about the Black Divine, are you? If you mention him outside the Imperium, people make that face. Like you're urine. But yes, we do have the Chantry, or a version of it. Night and day comparing it to yours.
Do you really call him the Black Divine?
We don't call it. In the Imperium, he's the true Divine. The woman sitting on the Sunburst throne is some It all stems from a disagreement over Andraste. Marvelous, isn't it?
Why would they disagree over on...
It's not my field of expertise, but the Imperium believe... Down south, they say, no, she's the bride of the Maker, ascended to his side, divine provenance. We feel better believing Andraste was one of us. Makes executing her less damning, you see. So we elected a man as divine, the South declared war, and we've been feuding cousins ever since.
So the Imperial Divine is always a man?
All the better to distinguish him from that. Don't think there aren't a number of female magisters who bristle at that. Why can't they be divine after all? Same reason you never see a man on the Sunburst throne. Because that's how it's always been done. Excellent reasoning.
Let me ask...
So many questions.
That's all I want.
Fair enough.
I should go.
As you wish.
Greetings, Inquisitor. I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You rebelled for good...
I'm pleased to hear you say that, Inquisitor. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now? Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
I trust everything...
Most are pleased with the Alliance, even if we wonder what will happen next.
You were once a...
Mine is an unusual. Normally one is part of the Order until death. But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure... So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a Warden seemed like a dream. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a Warden.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi. But I cannot claim Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
I'll leave you to it.
Before you go, Inquisitor, in Redcliffe, after we left, did you perhaps speak with King Alistair? Considering who you are?
He wasn't in the mood to talk.
It's just that I knew his father, Marek, back when I was a Warden.
You want me to smooth things over with him? Introduce you?
No, it's too late. I only wanted to know if he was happy. His father had such... Don't mind me, Inquisitor. The concerns of an old woman.
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve as assistant. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they prove useful.
You're taking over the duties of...
Yes. She said she was needed elsewhere and that I should serve.
What is she doing?
I wasn't told.
What is your evaluation?
Adequate. Based on the partial improvements to Skyhold.
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor. I'm sorry.
So am I.
The names of those we lost. You must blame me for this.
We all saw who attacked us. We know exactly who to blame.
I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have... I was afraid to lose my agents. And instead, we lost Haven.
You look out for your people. That's a good...
Is it? My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives.
Our people aren't tools to be used and discarded. Your instincts were right. Their lives matter.
Can we afford such sentimentality? What if Corypheus...
We are better than Corypheus.
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
You're not planning assassination.
I was planning to unleash Josephine on them. She kills with kindness. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
The Divine's death hit you hard.
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. Justinia was such a dear friend and there were so many things going wrong.
Sometimes it's best to talk these things.
I was there when the hero Ferelden We won the day, and I thought the Makers smiled on me. When the Divine requested my help, I went. I sacrificed so much to do the Makers' work. I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
You seem to know a great...
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
We can continue...
You know...
in the Dales. He fights for the people. What people? People who need him. That is so vague.
Send men to scout the area. We need to know what's out there.
Yes, sir.
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary...
Very good. I'll need an update on the armory as well. Now! We set up as best we could at Haven, but could never prepare for an archdemon, or whatever it was. With some warning, we might have...
Do you ever sleep?
If Corypheus strikes again, we may not be able to withdraw. And I wouldn't want to. Work on Skyhold is underway. Guard rotations established. We should have everything. We will not run from here, Inquisitor.
How many were lost?
Most of our people made it to Skyhold. Morale was low, but has improved greatly since you accepted the role of Inquisitor.
Everyone has so much faith in my leadership.
You won't have to carry the Inquisition alone, although it must feel. We needed a leader. You have proven yourself.
You responded quickly to the attack on Haven. Without... I'm grateful for any help you can give.
Thank you, Inquisitor. Did you need something?
Is there anything I should know?
Repairs to Skyhold's fortifications are progressing. Our scouts report no immediate threats in the... We are fortunate Solus knew of this place.
What do you think of the people?
Who do you mean?
I should let you...
This thing is not a stray puppy you can make into a pet. It has no business being here.
Wouldn't you say the same of an apostate?
Inquisitor, I wondered if Cole was perhaps a mage, given his unusual abilities.
He can cause people to forget him, or even fail entirely. These are not the abilities of a mage. It seems that Cole is a spirit.
It is a demon.
If you prefer, although the truth is somewhat more complex.
Cole warned us about Corypheus at Haven. He saved a lot of lives.
And what will its help cost? How many lives will this...
In fact, his nature is not so...
Speak plainly, Solas. What are we dealing with?
Demons normally enter this world by possessing something. In their true form, they look bizarre.
But you claim Cole looks like a young man.
No. He has possessed nothing and no one. And yet he appears human in all... Cole is unique, Inquisitor. More than that, he wishes to help. I suggest you allow him to do so.
What do you mean by possession?
Spirits and demons cross over from the faith, but Cole has willfully manifested in human form without possessing anyone.
The demons who came through the breach, or through the rifts, weren't possessed.
These demons were drawn through against their will. But Cole predates the breach. From what we can tell, he looks like a young man. For all intents and purposes, he is a young man. It is remarkable.
I should hear what Cole has to... Where is he now?
If none of us remember him, he could be anywhere.
Haven. So many soldiers fought to protect the pilgrims so they could escape. Choking fear. Can't think from the medicine, but the cuts rack me with every heartbeat. Hot, white pain. Everything burns. Dead.
You're feeling their pain.
It's louder this close. With so many...
Would you like to go somewhere more comfortable?
Yes, but here is where I can help. Every breath slower. Like lying in a warm bath. Sliding away. Smell gone. Cracked brown pain. Dry. Here.
Thank you.
It's all right. She won't remember me.
You're using your powers as a spirit.
Yes? I used to think I was a ghost. Then a Templar proved I wasn't real. I learned how to be more like what I am. It made me different, but stronger. I can feel more. I can help.
If you're willing, the Inquisition could use your help.
Yes, helping. Hurts. It hurts. The healers have done all they can. It will take him hours to die. Every moment will be agony. He wants mercy. Help.
You say he won't die for hours yet, but you can't know that for certain.
His body is failing.
He could recover. Or the healers could find another way to...
How do you know?
I don't. And neither do you.
Try. I want to stay.
Inquisitor? Is there something I can do for you? I should really focus my attention on the injured. Your worship.
Inquisitor.
You get a title, I get the boot. I see how it is. I mean, thanks for my life. Pleased to serve. Inquisitor?
So, Inquisitor. It's Inquisitor now, right? Remember that war we talked about stopping? Full of little baddies I can stick with little arrows. That's not a friggin' archdemon, is it? Droste, what did I step in?
Maybe nobody saw this coming, but you knew how I got the job.
I know what people said, but people believe all sorts of shite when they're scared. Swear at a farmer and you've cursed his crops. Spill the salt and you're dead by dawn. Dance through town in a goat's head and children people never had go missing.
The ancient thing trying to kill us seems pretty real.
Don't get me started. Oh, wait, too late, right? Imagine, it's a hazy dream, right? I mean, if it's real, then a seat needs a book, so the maker, real thing. Fairy stories about the star. It's too far, innit? I just want to plug the skyhole rubbish so I can go play.
You joined to help the little people caught up in this. But do you...
In Andraste?
But you doubt what you're seeing and hearing?
It can't be true. Even fanatics don't... Look, I have arrows. I can make this Coryphalis believe... Please be good enough.
Keep calling it nonsense. That perspective will keep the Inquisition grounded.
Oh, I can do that. Sure could use a few more people shouting, "We fight, the bad things go away, everyone calms down. A nice, well-paid normal."
You're starting to not sound completely crazy.
I know, scary, innit? So bring 'em on. But first, food. I'm starving. Hey, it's you again.
So you like to have fun. The Inquisition seems an odd fit. What?
What do you mean? To help people.
It's starting to sound like you're looking for something.
It is. Mostly. Okay,
See what?
I don't know. I've got all this chantry stuff in my head, but it's fuzzy. I want to see if it's all really real. So I'm selfish. It's all for me. Count yourself lucky, I guess.
Are things playing out the way?
Cassandra laid it out, right? You're the big hat now. Gonna make everything the way it should be. Praying's nice, I suppose. Corypheus bit, though.
Corypheus.
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 Sack Splash. I know his name. Doesn't deserve the respect of me saying it, does he?
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Lots of standards. That'll guide the dragon right in.
It was a mistake to use Haven as a base of operations. The town was completely indefensible.
It was a bad location. We should have moved sooner.
You left yourself vulnerable to attack. It was a miscalculation, one that I'm sure you won't repeat. But the enemy struck a serious blow against you and the Inquisition. We must recognize that. You must.
I'm not going to forgive what happened at Haven.
You're angry. Good. Anger can save you when everything else. Just make sure you put it to good. Our enemy advances, Inquisitor. Act first and teach them to. You can become the leader the faithful require.
So, this is Skyhold. Come, let's walk the ramparts. We'll be able to see Corypheus coming from miles away.
He's not going to get the better of us again.
We lost good soldiers that day. Let him come. I swear I'll take the Twister bastard down, even if I have to die to do it.
Watch that this enthusiasm of yours doesn't get you killed.
I wouldn't be the first to die. The people flock to your banner, eager to... Their faith is a leash, and you're in... Tell me honestly, are you what they say you are? Andraste's chosen?
There's so little I remember. What if...
Does it even matter? Don't you see what you are to them? Without you, they'd be consumed. They need you to be Andraste's messenger. Listen to me talk. Your time...
Majestic. How was a place like this ever lost? Our mounts have never had better. Perhaps Master Dennett will join us now. A space like this needs an expert.
This is just... it's something... I'm grateful you tracked me down when... As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is... It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
I'm pleased that you feel...
Makes me sound like a chantry sister, doesn't it? Some giddy... But so be it. I suppose you've earned my loyalty. You are who you choose to... Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
There's wisdom in that.
It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I even thanked him.
What is this Grand?
You've never heard of it? The Grand... It's a spectacle. Song, dance... But the greatest part is the contest of arms. Prove yourself in the Grand Tourney, and you can make...
How did he help?
There were 100 men on the field. Each one... The knight and I had forged an alliance. It was just the two of us, and we took... The goal, down as many opponents as possible. He always let me deliver the final blow.
That was generous.
He said I stood to gain everything. Well, when it was over, he offered to mentor me. To teach me to become... And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tour. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
You're here now. A Grey Ward.
I suppose it did, didn't it? But I'm older. Hopefully wiser. And I think I've chosen the right person to... I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that... You didn't have to take the time to help me. And yet you did.
If the history you pursue benefits the Wardens, then...
I've never been more certain of my decision to join you.
There will be opportunities for us to do even...
Then I look forward to it.
What do you think of...
I think the entire world is looking over its shoulder, wondering if the Inquisition's what.
We should return to...
As you wish.
No one knows who he really is. They never do. You don't understand. Fairfax fights for us and others. He has to pay.
How do you know they won't attack here?
Dark spot.
Inquisitor, huh? Well, you've got the... Speaking of which, when you've got a second, there's something I want to show you.
What did you want me to...
Here, come on. I'll show you.
Why am I dressed like this?
You'll see. Come on. It'll be worth your time, I promise. Evening. Iron Wolf. My merc band just joined up.
Tanner. I'm from Jader. Well, near Jader.
Mira. I was guard captain for Lady Pendel. Signed on after shit blew up at the Conclave. Share a drink? Who's your friend?
This is Grim. He doesn't talk much. So, you ready to kill some demons? Or Venatori? Or whatever that Corypheus asshole is?
This isn't just about killing. We're helping the Inquisitor save the world and build the next empire.
Well, long as I get paid, I'm happy. That's why I signed up.
I just couldn't spend my whole life on a farm. Needed to live a little, you know.
What about you, Mira? Why'd you join up? I thought you were serving some noble.
I saw what happened at Haven. The Inquisitor staring down that monster and his archdemon. I don't sing the chant of light as much as I should. But you can't see something like that and not believe.
Well, Grim and I should find our tents. Thanks for the drink. I know every soldier under my command. You don't have that option, but a few faces might help.
You made it sound like you didn't like the Inquisition.
People don't always tell the truth when you're polite. You've got to poke them a bit.
Those two soldiers might think you're an arsehole.
So?
It was good to get their perspective.
Yeah. Sounds like we could use an easy win for boys like Tanner. And vets like Mira have seen enough to be well. You've got a good army coming along. Remember that.
Scout Harding,
Your worship.
what's been going...
Seeker Cassandra came through here. That's just her face, though, isn't it?
I should...
Someone left sliced plums on the windowsill again. The juice is attracting flies. There are spiders.
Have you met this friend of Barrick's, Inquisitor?
Not yet, no.
It had better not be who I think it is. I will wring that little bastard's neck.
Why?
Someone Varric claimed. Someone the Inquisition. Indeed, all of them. I'll reserve judgment until I know for certain. No need to have that rogue screaming persecution yet again.
Do you have any advice for me?
Tell that demon what he may not mean harm. But spirits are not creatures to take at face value. Be cautious with him, Inquisitor. Treat Dorian. It's possible he could be what he seems. A Tevin. What if he is not? At best, his presence makes the Inquisition.
Do you have any advice for me?
Watch the treasury carefully. With that Sarah.
You think she's here to rob us?
Possibly not. But I would hardly put it past her.
Do you have any advice for me?
It's good that you recruited Enchanted. She is ambitious, but has always... My advice would be to watch her, but heed her when she speaks. That one wastes no...
Do you have any advice?
We must root out the Red Templars. They form the bulk.
That's enough for...
Another time.
Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion.
How's it going?
But she was so fast and quick with her bow.
See you later, Bull.
Nice.
Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful. But she knew the ways of nobler men.
Inquisitor, meet Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall.
Though I don't use that title much anymore.
Hawk, the Inquisitor. I figured you might have some friendly advice about Corypheus. You and I did fight him, after all.
You've already dropped half a mountain on the bastard. I'm sure anything I can tell you pales in comparison.
Oh, I don't know. You did save a city from a horde of rampaging Kunari.
I don't see how that really applies. Or is there a horde of rampaging Kunari I don't know about?
There's a Kunari. He almost qualifies as a horde all by himself.
So then, what can I tell you?
Varric said that you fought Corypheus before.
Fought and killed. The Grey Wardens were holding him, and he somehow used his connection to the Darkspawn to...
Corypheus got into their heads, messed with their minds, turned them...
If the Wardens have disappeared, they could have fallen under his control again.
If that's what happened to the Wardens, do you think...
It's possible. But we need... I've got a friend in the Wardens. He was investigating some... His name is Loghain. The last time we spoke, he was worried about corruption in the Warden ranks.
Corypheus would certainly qualify as corruption in the ranks. Did your friend...
No. He told me he'd be hiding in an old smuggler's cave near Crestwood.
If you didn't know about Corypheus, what were you doing?
The Templars in Kirkwall were using a strange form of lyrium. I'd hoped the Wardens could tell me more about...
Corypheus had Templars with him at Haven. They looked like they'd been exposed to the lyrium.
Hopefully my friend in the Wardens will know more.
I'll take any lead I can get at the moment.
Good. I'll do whatever I can to help. Corypheus is my responsibility. I thought I'd killed him before. This time, I'll make sure of it. Inquisitor.
You said you thought you killed Corypheus.
The Grey Wardens had him imprisoned. They used my father's blood in a ritual to seal Corypheus inside. But he could still reach out and influence the Warden's thoughts. He sent them after me. And I didn't just think I killed him. When the fight was done, maybe his tie to the Blight somehow brought him back. Or maybe it's old Tevinter magic. But he was dead. I swear it.
Where did you go after the Mage?
I heard the Chantry might be sending an exalted march to Kirkwall to put... I hoped that leaving would save lives and force the Divine to divide her force. As it turned out, I needn't have bothered. All the circles started rising up, and the exalted march never came.
I'd like to know more about Anders.
I don't know if there ever was just Anders. He was crazy. By the end, there was nothing left in him except this insane need to start a war no one could win.
I heard you had family and friends in Kirkwall. Where are they now?
My sister's a Grey Warden. I had my friend Aveline take her as far from Orlais as possible. When all the Wardens started acting strangely, I had to... Isabella and I never believed in being tied down. We'll see each other again. Until then, she'll be having fun. But hopefully not too much fun.
Assume Varric's been feeding you information about the Inquisition.
Only good things, I promise. I was a little surprised, actually. Varric isn't one for religion in general. I think the exact phrase was, has a good shot at fixing Blondie's mess.
We'll talk later.
I'll meet you at Crestwood. Let me know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, I'll meet you at Crestwood. Right.
You knew where Hawk was all along!
You're damned right I did.
You conniving little shit!
You kidnapped me! You interrogated me! What did you expect?
Hey! Enough!
You're taking his side?
I said enough!
We needed someone to lead this Inquisition. First, Liliana and I searched for the hero of Ferelden, but he had vanished. Then we looked for Hawk, but he was gone too. We thought it all connected, but no. It was just you. You kept him...
The Inquisition has a leader.
Hawk would have been at the Conclave if anyone could have saved Most Holy...
You can't change the past, Cassandra.
So I must accept... what? That the Maker wanted? Varric is a liar, Inquisitor. A snake. Even after the Conclave, when we needed Hawk most.
He's with us now. We're on the same side.
We all know whose side you're on, Varric. It will never be the Inquisition's.
Attacking him now won't help us, Cassandra.
Ha! Exactly.
And you better not be keeping anything else from us.
Ah, I understand.
I must not think of what could have been. We have so much. Go, Varric. Just go.
You know what I think? If Hawk had been at the temple, he'd be dead too. You people have done enough to him.
I believed him. He spun his story for me, and I swallowed it. If I just explained what was at stake, if I just made him understand. But I didn't, did I? I didn't explain. I'm such a fool.
What if you hadn't believed him, and you tracked Hawk down?
Honestly, Hawk might not even have agreed to become Inquisitor. He supported the Mage Rebellion, after all. He wouldn't have tried. But this isn't about Hawk, or even... I should have been more careful. I don't deserve to be here.
You're too hard on yourself, Cassandra.
Not hard enough, I think.
You can't believe that.
I want you to know, I have no regrets. Maybe if we'd found Hawk or the hero of Ferelden, the Maker wouldn't have needed to send you. But he did. You're not what I'd pictured. But if I've learned anything, it's that I know less than nothing. Something is troubling me, Inquisitor. Leliana is receiving reports of mages becoming possessed. No one is dealing with these matters. I was hoping we might, before they get worse.
We can certainly look into it.
I will mark these incidents on the map as I learn of them, Inquisitor. And I would be pleased to accompany you if and when you investigate.
That's enough.
Another time.
What are you doing?
Listening. Eyes rough, jangling armor hurts my ears, back aching, fingers too clumsy for knots. Wind cool like Aunt Eloise's pond, lips scalded as I sip, warmth blossoms, first kiss in the barn, what was his name? Tin jangle as the blood spills, Pierre's wrapped body on the wagon to the chantry, 5 more minutes, my fault.
Can you listen to anyone's mind like you did?
No, they have to need me. Pain, fear, sadness, guilt, anger, hurt. Things I can fix.
Can you do something for her?
It's okay. Nothing you did mattered.
What? Who are you?
They lie there, and sometimes they die, just like...
I don't...
Wait. That didn't work. Let me try again. You'll forget me in a minute.
Cole, stop.
Inquisitor, your worship, what are you doing here?
Yes. Sorry to trouble you.
How do I do it right if I've done it wrong and I can't make her forget?
Don't root around inside her head.
Your worship, is that...
You were sad.
Of course I was sad. A man died.
It wasn't your fault. You could work until you fell over, and you still wouldn't save.
Thank you for saying that. Excuse me, your worship.
She's not better.
She needs time to work through it.
If I'd done it right, it would have worked.
Then you have time to work through it too.
I don't understand, but thank you for...
Inquisitor.
Haven was a cock-up, Herald, Inquisitor. But you did right by me, and others. Your worship, I suppose.
We are assembling quite the influential list of allies.
We could have stopped before that black wall.
Roderick was sorry before he died.
Roderick was a pebble in the Inquisition's boot. A little remorse seems only fair.
Blood everywhere. Monsters. The Herald stands against it, and heads turn. Voices in the chantry. Years since I'd sung the song and felt... So long since I'd felt it. Falling, flying, faith, and... He hates it all because of the darkness behind the door. Some doors should stay shut.
Inquisitor?
Is there anything I should know?
I'd gotten used to mages disliking me on principle. Vivienne's views on Templars are surprisingly traditional.
That got a little heated. You all right?
Well, that depends. I wasn't trying to keep secrets. I told the Inquisition everything that seemed important at the time.
I bet Cassandra regrets how things went back there. You should...
I appreciate that you're trying to keep the peace, but things between me and the... I keep hoping none of this is real. Maybe it's all some bullshit from the Fade, and it'll just... I know I need to do better.
What's the
Hello,
chant say
Inquisitor.
about this?
Honored to
I
help.
never paid attention. Ah, so it's kicked in.
Can you arrange what we discussed earlier, Ambassador?
I found the money. The Inquisition will compensate the families of those we lost at Haven.
Thank you.
Inquisitor,